My name is David Parker. I'm an elder law attorney with offices in Westchester County and Rockland County, New York. What I'm going to talk to you today about is what is rehab. This is important for crisis situations for seniors who are concerned about what happens when they fall, have a stroke, etc. They enter the hospital, and who's going to pay for that situation. This is what we call rehab. There's short-term rehab and long-term rehab. And what are the differences, and when does Medicare pay for this? So what you have to understand is Medicare Part A will pay if you enter the rehab 30 days after the hospital discharge. So you have an incident, you go in the hospital, and within 30 days you go into a rehabilitation facility. By the way, these rehabs are usually in a nursing home. So it's a nursing home, but you're doing short-term rehab. You're not going to be there necessarily for a long period of time. The prior hospital stay has to be for 3 days or more. The medical diagnosis has to be that you need rehabilitation, and that the rehab has to relate to what was going on in the hospital. One of the other things I'll mention about is it used to be that you would get short-term rehab, and then they would discharge you and then bring you back 2 days later and then start over again, and that way they could extend your rehab. The Medicare cracked down on that a long time ago. If a hospital tries to do that, or a nursing home tries to do that, then Medicare will tell them, oh, you did a lousy job, we're not going to pay you for the previous rehab because the person was back here in 2 days. Now, there's another thing you need to know about. It's called observation. So you can be in a hospital and not be admitted. So it's very important to ask the hospital whether a person who is in the hospital, even staying overnight, even if they've been given a room, whether they're under observation status or whether they are admitted. Because if they're on observation, Medicare will not cover it. So what happens then? So if you're in short-term rehab, for the first 20 days, Medicare will pay 100% of your costs, but only up to 20 days. If you go past 20 days, Medicare will pick up 80% of the costs. Now, if you have supplemental insurance, you have a secondary insurance company, they will pick up the other 20%. But if you only have straight Medicare, you are personally responsible for the additional 20%. And that alone can be a lot of money, so you need to be aware of that. And I want to just explain the difference between short-term and long-term rehab. So short-term requires skilled nursing care, and I'm just going to read a definition here. Skilled nursing care includes nursing and therapy care that can only be performed by registered nurses, licensed practical or vocational nurses, physical or occupational therapists, pathologists, or audiologists. Custodial care, and that's really long-term rehab, is help with activities of daily living, such as getting in and out of bed, eating, bathing, dressing, toileting, and grooming. And custodial care is what is traditionally provided in a nursing home. One last thing I'll mention, the 80% that Medicare pays for, that goes up to 100 days. After 100 days, you're considered a long-term patient and they will not pay anymore. But what you have to recognize is almost nobody gets 100 days. At some point, they determine that either you're fine or that you will not improve anymore with the rehab. It's called plateauing. And that's what happens to a lot of people. So don't rely on the idea that, oh, I've got 100 days to figure this out. The doctor will come in one day on a Monday and say, you're done, no more rehab, and by Wednesday, you're cut off. And so you have a very short time frame in which to deal with the problem. So if you have questions about this, if your loved one is in the hospital or in a nursing home, please give us a call or email us, set up an appointment, book a call, and we'll be happy to speak with you.